At my Zoom, we are live now. Hallelujah. Bear with me 1 second. What did I just do?
It's showing up
What's showing up?
on YouTube.
What is?
You see it?
I'm live.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you see now?
Same thing, it's you live.
All right, I can't see anything here. Do not
In the,
turn your screen around so I can see it.
in the sharing and then reshare again. You stop the sharing onto the Zoom and then start it again. Start sharing again.
Why, you can't see it on the Zoom?
This is what's on Zoom.
Okay, now I'm back on it.
You sharing again?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to share, but I just see a
This is not good.
that's the screen that's up there, and I should be sharing with this, one of these. And there's the YouTube channel.
And then you share.
But that's not, now we're right back to,
So
sharing has been stopped.
it's still showing.
It's showing what? It's showing that my YouTube is up?
Yeah, on YouTube. I don't
How's my YouTube up, but I can't share the screen on here?
know.
Can we make this smaller? Can we make this smaller?
Make what smaller? I don't know, you can't. No, so
I mean, not on Zoom.
there's nowhere to make it smaller.
You just made it smaller. Leave it. What? That's fine. All right, I'm going to try one more time. What is this? And it's not down here. Because I'm trying to open up the YouTube. The YouTube is streaming. You said it's live streaming.
It is.
should be there. That's not it. This is the one I tried to do, and it wouldn't let me. Let's see. See if it gives me a picture now. So what's
Okay, I can see you on YouTube.
okay? I got the YouTube back up and running, right? Is that
Right.
Ray's here? Okay, so let's see if we take this and make it smaller.
Good. How you doing? You guys want to show up today? Oh shit.
All right, now I'm going to try it again one more time. I've been praying.
No, it's actually
Okay. The only thing I need to do now is make sure that, yeah, it's popping. All right.
Yeah.
My goodness. I know that was a nightmare for me. Hopefully, you guys, I'm thankful that you stayed. Hallelujah. Welcome to the going through a little bit of a nightmare today. We just did our Shema Israel, and I have we're going to read through our Psalms Telahim 72. Benjamin's going to read for us, and now we should be live. Oh, look at his shofar. He got his shofar.
Is it 72 or 73?
72. Did I say 73 before? No, 72. You don't blow your shofar?
Sure.
Oh, here you. Homeboy bought his shofar. That's it.
Right?
Oh my goodness! I blew my shofar out. All right, 72.
Okay. Psalms 72, verse
Yes.
1. Give the king your judgments, O Yah, and your righteousness to the king's son. He will judge your people with righteousness, and your poor with justice. The mountains will bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness.
So three times we've seen the word righteousness already. That's going to be my Hebrew word in a minute. So thy righteousness and thy people. Oh, come on. So verse 3, go back to 3 and keep reading. I won't disturb you anymore.
Okay. Psalm 72, verse 3. The mountains will bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness. He will bring justice to the poor of the people. He will save the children of the needy, and will break in pieces the oppressor. They shall fear you as long as the sun and the moon endure throughout all generations. He shall come down like rain upon the grass before mowing, like showers that water the earth. In his days the righteous shall flourish in abundance of peace, until the moon is no more. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from river to the ends of the earth. Those who dwell in the wilderness will bow before him, and his enemies will lick the dust. The kings will tarnish, and of the isles will bring presents. The kings of Sheba and Seba will all offer gifts. Yes, all kings shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him. For he also delivers the needy when he cries, the poor also are needy, and will save the souls of the needy. And he will redeem their life from oppression and violence, and precious shall be their blood in his sight. And he shall live, and the gold of Sheba will be given to him. Prayer also will be made for him continually, and daily he shall be praised. There will be an abundance of grain in the earth, on top of the mountains. Its fruit shall wave like Lebanon, and those of the city shall flourish like grass of the earth. His name shall endure forever. His name shall continue as long as the sun, and men shall be blessed in him. All nations must be the Elohim of Israel, who only does wondrous things. And blessed be his glorious name forever. And let the whole earth be filled with his glory. Of David the son of Jesse are ended.
Hallelujah. So he starts out talking about his righteousness. And so I thought, where's my board? Here it is. So I thought we need to look at his righteousness. I'm going to write some Hebrew for you. Now, you have a YouTube channel, you have Zoom. If you have any questions, any comments, make statements, put them on the comments, like, share, so that we can be noticed by a few more people. Hallelujah. So I'm going to write this word. This word is can you pronounce that word?
Yechezk'el.
Tzedakah. That's the way they put it out. They break it out into 3 different syllables. And way it's written is this. See if I can do this for you. I guess that looks good enough. There you go. An interesting word for righteousness. Let's do our Hebrew. Zadi. All right. And okay, so what does we're going to, because this is the way we do our words, right? We want to know what this word really means. So if there's these four letters, and each letter has a meaning behind it. All right. So let's start with Sadi, the first letter. The first letter is, what is the meaning behind Sadi? Anybody know what the meaning is for Sadi?
Man on side, desire, need, or to hunt something.
Man on side, desire, need, or to hunt something. Somebody been doing some studying, right? So check this out before we go any further. I have these wonderful little cards. Man on need. It's really pretty good the way he has that there. Man on need, desire. There's one thing that he didn't say that I had on here that got my attention. See that? Hook. Right? To hook. What is your this desire that's embedded in someone? It's like a hook. Okay. Next. Everybody knows what this one is. An easy one. Dalet. Now the dalet looked like an upside down L with see where it looks like it's an L. or it looks like it's something that's open, right? Because it's what? Help me, help me. It's a door, right? It's a door. Here you go. Here you go. It's a door. So we start seeing this thing grow, right? Because here we start out with somebody has a desire or a hook in him. He's opening the door, right? Cuffed. Oh, coof.
Yeah.
So what is the coof? That's what that is. That's a coof. It looked like a P, but it's open up on the top.
To gather, sun on horizon, or to be behind something.
Sun on the horizon. So this guy, this righteous person had a desire inside of him. He opens up the door early, they say in Christianity, early in the morning, in the sunrise, right?
Wow.
To do what? What's it? Hey.
To behold.
To behold, or to
Wow. To be in the ruach, because hey is a sound that represents breath.
Breath.
Ruach.
right?
To be in the ruach.
The thing that I said is that your breath, you're holding something that needs to be given back to the Creator. You can't hold your breath because it's not yours. It must be given back. But Yah will bless you and give you another one, and give you another one, and give you another one. For your entire life, Yah has been blessing you with a gift. Morning, Yah blesses you with a new sunrise. You take it for granted. Yah blesses you with a new, has a inward desire, a hook, to open the door, right? At sunrise, where's the sunrise? At sunrise, early in the morning, right? To receive the new hook or the new breath. So this word righteous here it's someone that has a desire to do a certain thing. Okay, that's my Hebrew word. 2 talks about righteousness. Then something should be like that hook is like a fish. Something should be drawing you like a magnet. Like you can't, if you have fish in the lake and you put the fish hook out and then you have the bait, something gonna bite, and those fish will gravitate to the hook. And the best time to fish is early in the morning.
Wow.
Early in the morning. That's when the fish are hungry. You're just okay. So how do we know? How do we distinguish a righteous person? I'm glad you asked. Let's go back to where we were just at. Deuteronomy chapter 6. This is real easy. Go back to verse 1. Trey gonna read for me. Oh, where's my? Yes.
Oh.
I got you.
Good participant.
Recording in progress.
Deuteronomy 6. And in this is just where a few verses that we're going to read. All right, Trey, let's go. Now, these are the commandments and the statutes in the judgment which Yahuwah Eliakim commanded to teach you that you might do them in the land where you go to possess it. Verse 2.
That you might fear Yahweh, to guard all the statutes and commandments commands you and your son and your son's son, all the days of your life, and that your days may be long. Hear therefore, Yisra'el, and guard to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily, as Yahweh Elohai of your fathers has promised you, and the land that flows with milk and honey. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh is one. And you shall love Yahweh Eloheka with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind.
Okay, so here we start. These are the commandments and the statutes and the judgments that you are commanded. And I'm commanding you to teach you that you might teach them to wherever you go. Wherever, whether you're in the land that I'm going to give you to possess, or whether you're in a foreign land, right? I want you to teach this to your sons. This commandment, I want this commandment for you, your sons, sons, all the days of your life, that it may do what? Prolong your life. Talked to someone Friday, and he was like a workaholic. And he said he just learned to start, you got to be careful how you introduce or produce, give people this information. So he's like, I take Sunday off. And I said, you know what you're doing actually is preserving your life. Just by learning to take a day off. But Yah's going to bless you even twice that full by taking off his day. But gradually at least he's learning to shut it down one day. And from what I learned and from what I've witnessed, 99% of the people that say they keep Sunday as a Sabbath or they keep Sunday as the Lord's Day do not, I repeat, do not keep it biblically in any way, shape, or form. Because they will figure out, well, I'm going to take the day off, and if someone offered them a job, they go for it. Or if they're working at home or working on their own, they're like, okay, well, I went to worship. I put my 2 minutes in, or 2 hours, or my hour, and it's done, right? Where we don't do that, and I share with them, I said, I keep Sabbath. I said, from sunset on Friday night till sunset on Saturday night, no working. A matter of fact, if you try calling me, you probably go straight to an answer machine because that time is sacred. And what was the hard part is not that I wasn't working. The hard part was not thinking about work. Not thinking about, did I order this supply, or did I do this, or did I do that, or because your mind starts going and your mind is now working. If you learn to keep Shabbat, you'll learn to shut it down. Actually, you'll feel kind of strange because your body hasn't learned to shut itself down unless it's been comatose. All right, so keep reading. After you said that we're going to love Yah with all of our might, all of our soul, all of our heart. Verse 7.
And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the posts of your house and on your gates. And it shall be when Yahweh Eloheka shall have brought you into the land which he swore unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Yisra'el, and to Yaakov, to give you great and goodly cities which you built not, and houses full of all good things which shall have eaten and be full. Then beware lest you forget Yahweh, which brought you forth out of the land of Yisra'el, from the house of bondage. You shall fear Yahweh Eloheka and serve him, and shall swear by his name.
By his name. And don't forget. Here's the problem, because a lot of us have short-term memory. We've forgotten the person. It's Juneteenth. So now they're celebrating the day. There's a problem with that. We're still in the land. We're still in the land. And the ones that were our masters are now saying, let's not even talk about that. Let's act like it never happened. The 9/11, let's remember that. But let's forget about this. Let's not now the big debate. We don't want to bring this up in our classrooms. Someone may get their feelings hurt. But we'll talk about 9/11 and look at everybody with a come on. So he's warning you. Don't forget. All right. Verse, yes, we're going to read the whole chapter.
Okay. Verse 14. You shall not go after other Elohim, of the Elohim of the people which are round about you.
All right. We're not going to go there right now, but if you went to Deuteronomy 28, he said that you will be going to a foreign land. You will be going in the ships, and you will come to a land, and the people there will have a strange language. Okay, so you feel this, right? You've seen the ships. You've seen the documents that show that they're Hebrews on board. You see that they've start teaching you their language, and they snatch your language away. You've gone into certain churches that have handwritten Hebrew writing on it, identifying these people as being Hebrew. You got all kind of DNA showing you that the people that were brought here were Israelites. Okay, so now the Israelites come into a land that's foreign, with foreign language, a strange language, which is hard to understand. What does the book say next? It also says that they will force you to gods. So they put you on a ship called Jesus, and they bring you overboard, and then they start teaching you Muslim. So you got the very identity that Yah was saying, get away from, because these are your enemies, and they will teach you. I don't care what title you place on yourself. I don't care how many you have. I don't care if you have a 10,000, 7,000, 5,000 mega-sized church. If you're calling on Jesus, you're calling on a false name. You're calling on their God. The name Jesus is not in the Bible. So when you go to the Bible museum, you're going to see where they started snatching you away from the calling him by his name, calling the Father or the Most High by his name. And then when his son comes, there's nowhere that I went to the museum the other day. There's nowhere did I find the name Yahushua. But I saw Jesus everywhere. And I'm sure if I searched hard and wide, I probably would have found somewhere his name written and pronounced, spelled out in a Hebrew name. They have learned to persuade us. I got something for you. I'm gonna show you a picture off of my phone, because everybody knows of the picture in South America with white Jesus with his hands out. Everybody's seen that picture. Yes, go ahead.
You gotta turn the camera on. On here's the picture.
Oh yeah, because if I did that, my YouTube, because it's all in the same. So I got this picture. Now you've seen a picture of white Jesus up on the top of the hillside. You go through America and you'll go to Catholic churches and they'll have the color is white. They got white stones of white, what do you call it? White Jesus in front of their churches. I got them on my phone too. But nobody takes offense to that. In Japan, they have this, and the title is this Mother Goddess. Let's see if I'll have to crop this so that it opens up the right way. I want you to see this. I want you to see it. All right, there we go. So in Japan, they're praying for the corona to go away. So they pray to their God, and they have a mommy God, a mother God. And it was so crazy when I saw it because it reminded me of white Jesus. Can you see it? And you know what they did to that? This statue that they have in Japan, they ran cables up, and the size of its face is about the size of its jaw is larger than your mouth. I mean, than a person. So you figure that that's like 6 feet, just from the nose to the chin. They came there with cables, and they raised a mask and put a mask over her face because this God can't put a mask on itself. This goddess doesn't have the ability to fight off corona for itself, let alone for everybody else. But now you may think that's strange because you're seeing something in another land. This is no different than white Jesus. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. And when you see your enemy will try his darnest to force you into worshiping his gods. All right. I'm gonna get back into the text, but when they something's on there all over this. When they grabbed us, immediately they changed our names, stamped us, and raped us, and put us on the ships. That was our initiation. Oh, and they had a priest there. Let's not miss this part. And they had a priest there, and the priest baptized you in the name of Jesus. That was the end. Do not, 14, do not go after their Elohims.
Of the people which are round about you, verse 15. For Yahweh Eloheka is a jealous El among you, lest the anger of Yahweh Eloheka be kindled against you, destroy you from off the face of the earth. You shall not tempt Yahweh Elohim as you tempted him in Massa, and his statutes which he has commanded you.
All right, so he went right back to verse 1, and he said, I want you to guard these things. Keep the testimonies, keep the statutes, keep the commandments. Verse 18.
And you shall do that which is right and good in the sight of Yahweh, that it may be well with you, and that you may go in and possess the good land which Yahweh swore unto your fathers, to cast out all your enemies from before you as Yahweh has spoken. And when your son asks you in time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Yahweh our Elohim has commanded you?
Why are we doing this? That's the title. So when your kids ask you, because it's okay that the stranger may ask you, but when your kids ask you, why are you doing this? Why are you keeping Shabbat? What's the big deal? Why are you doing this? Verse 20. When your sons ask you in the time to come, there's going to be a time when people are going to start asking, why are you you don't go to church on Sunday? You don't call Jesus anymore? What's going on? When your sons start asking you about the testimonies, about the statutes, and about the judgment, because judgment's coming. Verse 21.
Then you shall say unto your son, you were Pharaoh's bondman in Mizraim, and Yahweh brought us out of Mizraim with a mighty hand. And Yahweh showed signs and wonders, great and sore upon Mizraim, upon Pharaoh and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in, to give us the land which he swore unto our fathers.
So it's all about out and in. So you can't do a June 19th celebration when you still not out. He hasn't brought you out. You can talk about us once being in slavery and now we're not as bad as it once was, but we still in the land. Redemption is job purchasing and buying us and bringing us out. And when he says, you can look back at Pharaoh, America don't see the judgment coming down on them yet. They've seen a little bit, but y'all got something greater for you. Oh, it's a coming. You can't do y'all's people the way you've done y'all's people for over 400 years, 401 now, 400 years, and think judgment ain't coming. Oh, it's a coming. Go ahead, let's finish this.
Verse 24. And Yahweh commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahweh our Elohim, our righteousness, if we guard to do all these commandments before Yahweh our Elohim, as he has commanded us.
All right. It will be what?
Our righteousness, if we guard to do all these commandments.
Weren't we just talking about righteousness?
Sir.
So our righteousness is how did you put that?
Our righteousness is if we guard to do all the commandments which Yahweh our Elohim.
That's the righteous act. That's the righteous man. If you guard his commandments, his statutes, and his testimony, and keep a strong testimony, you are now demonstrating that you are righteous. It's not by your acts, like because I dress a certain way, or because I have this long, crazy prayer. It's by your guarding his commandments. The Christians, and I'm going to throw them under the bus because the blood, and then they call his name. But meanwhile, you can do whatever you want, and they consider you righteous. Turn to Isaiah 60. Isaiah 57. Now, you're going to remember Isaiah 57, and I'm going to help you because I was born in 57. Born in 57. So let's hear about this righteousness again. We're talking about righteous because, you know, my son may want to ask me why we do what we do. Yeshayahu 57. Come on. Yes.
Chapter 57, verse 1. The righteous perish, and no man lays it to heart. And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
So Yah says
Wow.
the righteous are taken away. Nobody even care. Nobody gives a, I almost said that D word, about you dying because you don't count. But guess what? Sometimes Yah will remove the righteous so that he doesn't experience the penalty that's coming. The judgment's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes Yah, you heard this thing, this thing people used to say, yeah, God works in mysterious ways. Sometimes he removes the righteous so they don't have to experience the worst. Because you think you've experienced the worst, wait until Yah judgment comes. People going to be crying to get out. Cry. Verse 2.
He shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. But draw near hither, you sons of the sorceress, the seed of the man that breaks wedlock and the whore. Against whom do you sport yourselves? Against whom make you a wide mouth and draw the tongue? Are you not children of transgression, the seed of falsehood?
Now he's getting ready to lay the he's going to lay the law down. Just listen to him. He's talking to the unrighteous now. Now we already described what a righteous is, right? What is righteous? Now let's look at the unrighteous and how he's given them a warning. All right, verse 5.
And planting yourselves among the smooth stones of the stream is your portion. They are your lot. Even to them have you poured a drink offering. You have offered a meat offering. Should I receive comfort in these? Upon a lofty and high mountain have you set your bed. Even thither went you up to offer sacrifice. Behind the doors also and the posts have you set up your remembrance. For you have discovered yourself to another than me and are gone up. You have enlarged your bed and cut a covenant with them. You loved their bed, for you saw it.
Okay, so before you go any further, I know we're stopping at verse 8. These are people that are practicing religion. There's a whole bunch of people that have sworn covenant with someone outside of God. They will tell you the Old Testament God was a fierce and he was scary. We don't serve that God. They'll tell you this. We serve a loving God. He's love and joy and happiness, peace and cauliflower. Oh yeah, all you got to do is call JESUS and you're going to be happy. It's like a drug. And y'all's like, read my book. Read my book. Someone has made verse 8. Someone has cut. And they
did increase your perfumes, and did send your messengers far off, and did debase yourself even unto Sheol. You are weary in the greatness of the way. Yet said you not, there is no hope. You have found the life of your hand, therefore you are not grieved. And of whom have you been afraid or feared, that you have lied, and have not remembered me, nor laid it to your heart? Have I not held my peace even of old, and you fear not? I will declare your righteousness and your works, for they shall not profit you. When you cry, let your companies deliver you, but the wind shall carry them all away. Vanity shall take them. But he that puts his trust in me shall possess the land, and shall inherit my.
So there's a clear distinction, and you don't have to go around pointing fingers at people and saying you're not getting in, you getting in, you're not getting in. Y'all's going to make the final analysis. I can only tell you what he told me, and he told us keep his laws, keep his commandments, keep his statutes, because that's our right. If you want to do away with his statutes, if you want to keep the feast, your new feast days, you want to keep your, because this is a new, now today we have a new feast day. It's Shabbat, and people are running around keeping Juneteenth. I was out there, I saw them, I went out there, I looked around, and I'm like, you guys have no clue. But if you did a survey and you asked them, they will tell you how righteous they are, and they tell you what church they're going to tomorrow, and they'll tell you that you're wrong because you're keeping the feast day, you're keeping this law, statutes, and commandments. You the weirdo. You in the cult, because they are so righteous, and they'll be like, and they'll go into their building, and John and Paul, the married couple, will come in. And they all celebrate and worship with them, John and Paul, the two guys. They'll be up in the choir and all, singing and shouting and carrying on. But they're righteous because they got the blood. Oh. Makes you wonder.
Verse 14.
14.
I shall say, cast you up, prepare the way. Take up the stumbling block out of the way of my people.
One.
His name is holy. I dwell in the high and holy place. With him also, that is of a contrite and humble ruach, to revive the ruach of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones.
So remove the stumbling block, because there's only one high and lifted up in Deuteronomy 6. Only one. And talking to my mailman today, he was like, that nasty King James, everybody talking about the King James version. Every one of these kings and rulers had someone commissioned to take the book and write it according to their belief. So when you read the book, it's already going to persuade you to follow multiple gods. And now you're fighting with the idea of there only be one high and lifted up. Even though he says twice a day, repeat this to get it into your cranium, into your brain, into every aspect of your body. You should be like, oh, that's right. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh. 15. Go back to 15.
For thus says the high and lofty one that inhabits eternity, whose name is Kodesh. I dwell in a high and holy place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble ruach, to revive the ruach of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite one.
Most of us don't know what it means to be humble. Being humble sometimes means when you come to truth, if you had a title, you may have to surrender it. Being humble is realizing that there's no big you and the little I, big I and little you. We all on this battle together, fighting this. And yes, I may be a teacher, but the teacher is not really teaching you, but 16.
I will not contend forever, neither will I always be wrong. For the ruach should fail before me, and the souls which I have made. For the iniquity of his covetousness was I raw, and smote him. I hid me and was raw, and he went on forwardly in the way of his heart. I have seen his ways and will heal him. I will lead him also and restore comfort unto him and to his mourners. I create the fruit of the lips. Peace, peace to him that is far off, and to him that is near, says Yahweh, and I will heal him. But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters can.
So he flips the script. We walk around day and night. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I use shalom for thank you. I use shalom for hello. I use shalom for goodbye. I use shalom for hey, what's up? Instead of just yelling, you hear me walking around. I don't know how many times I speak shalom today in the course of a day. Because shalom should be part of my DNA. Yah will give you shalom if you learn to walk right, if you yield yourself to him. But if not, have you been around anyone whose life is always chaotic? It's always like, what's the word that we use? Drama. Every time I hear about him, it's drama. Life will give you enough drama as is. But in that drama, if Yah is in you, you should have shalom. You should be walking in peace from the inwards working his way out. People will gravitate to you because of your shalom. And people will alienate themselves from you because of your chaotic drama. Because they know that there's drama. I don't need that. I guarantee you in the course of the month, if I have any strangers come into my house, they will come out saying his house is strange. It's peaceful. I've had people come in and I'm like, okay, I understand. Because they don't understand all the time. And sometimes you got to like slow down the word shalom in here. I've had people from a bad day crawl up on the couch and you're like, when are they leaving? Because they don't want to leave and it's not me. It's not my wife. It's the spirit of Yah resonating in our abode, in our house. So that shalom should be like, anybody like cologne? You like cologne?
Yes, sir.
What kind of cologne do you like?
I just got my favorite Jean Paul. I don't even know what it is.
Jean Paul.
Jean Paul.
Jean Paul. I don't know what that is. Look, I used to sell shoes at Nordstrom. I had a problem when someone said, "Do you have any Sam Elliman?" I was like, "Who is he?" He's a designer. I was like, I was go see if he works back. They had to sit there like, I'm not buying any shoes from him. All right, so you like cologne. What do you like about cologne?
Just the smell. It makes you feel good.
It makes you
good.
right. So I'm not even going to mention that. But having a nice fragrance that other people, when they come up to you, they sense it, they smell it, and they feel welcoming to it. They're like, man, you smell good. They be sneaking a smell, walk close by. I gotta smell that again. That's what y'all want. That fragrance is something that we should have with us all the time. Now, you know where we're going. Exodus 34. And we're getting ready to get done. This is Exodus 34. And because it's the feast day coming up, start at verse 10. Oh, sorry.
Exodus.
Verse 9. because we were before we even, I really should have started at the beginning, but that's okay. I don't want to.
That just Exodus 34, verse 9.
Can you hear? You said that he was muted.
Well, I had people texting me saying that it was a big after one too. Traded to previous.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Just let me know if you can't hear him.
Verse 9.
Wait a minute, let's see how long it is. Oh, it's a short one. Let's start the beginning there. First one. Or Shamut.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, hew you 2 sapphire stones like unto the first, and I'll write upon these sapphires the words that were in the first sapphires which you wrote. And be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present yourself there to me at the top of the mount. And no man shall come up with you, neither let any man be seen throughout all the mount, neither let the flocks nor herds feed before that mount. And he hewed 2 sapphire stones like unto the first. Moshe rose up early in the morning.
Stop at the end of that first.
And went up unto Mount Sinai, as Yahweh had commanded him.
Sapphire stones. He already had a set. Came down, saw the people acting up, and he smashed them. When I read through this, the first thing that comes to my mind is I'm so grateful that for Moshe and Noah. First, I don't have to worry about breaking the stones again, because sometimes you want to smash somebody in the head with one when you realize, like, I've told you 1,000 times, this is how you ought to be acting, and they act just the opposite. And then Moshe got upset because the people were acting so foolish that he destroyed something that Yah made himself with his own bare hands. I know he was out of his mind when he thought that. I don't think he really thought what he was doing was so, Yah made this stuff. Why is he messing with it? Then Moshe, so he acted out of his feelings. And then I had to bring up Noah, because I'd be ready to throw people out of the ark. I'd be like, you gotta go. Open the door and let him out. But he gave me a symbolic gesture with Noah, and he said, I'll shut the door. He locked the door. So when they started acting up inside, there's nothing that he could do to get them out. And no one could get in or get out because the door was already shut. So when I feel like I want to get ready to kick you out, I gotta realize Yah's the one that's going to open the door and shut the door. Okay, I want you to write it all over again. This time you got to write it. Right? And he writes it up, and he said, when you come back up here for them. Verse 6.
And Yahweh passed by before him and proclaimed, Yahweh, Yahweh, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and upon children's children.
Okay, so verse 6. You are not just walking in grace because you read the New Testament. Because Yah has been gracious since day one. He's been long-suffering, merciful, and gracious. Those 3 words, and abundant in goodness and truth. So you put that all together, and that's a picture of Yah. He's been gracious, long-suffering. He's giving you a chance to get it right. You keep messing up, not intentionally, but some things you just stumble along. And Yah says, I'm gracious. I'm letting you learning to walk. And she stumbles. You don't smack the kid on the butt. You were walking better than that yesterday. you like help her along, and she gets a little older, and she walks a little better, and then she runs. She gets on a bike, and she starts to riding the bike, and she's going all over the place, and she falls. You know, where's the belt? Get a switch. No, you're gracious and you're long suffering as she matures. Now, when she's 50 years old and she's still stumbling and she's still tripping up, you'd be like, I think it's time. You've seen people in the corner saying, I'm gonna get myself together, and you come back 20 years and you go to the same corner and they sitting on the same steps and they're like, oh, Trey, I ain't seen you in 20 years. What you doing? And you tell him what you're doing, and he says, I'm gonna get myself together. You gotta die. Can I get a cigarette? I just need $1 so I can go down and get a Lucy. If you have the hook, if you have the hook, you will open that door, and early in the morning, you'll be getting yourself together. And when you breathe, you'll be realizing, I'm not just breathing oxygen. Because this is the deal. Everybody breathes oxygen, but not everybody breathes the Ruach. Walking in righteousness, because the Ruach is actually helping you. Even when you used to trip up and fall all the time, now that you have the promise given you from Yah, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow, from Yeshua, and now you put the blood on top of that walking right, now you can do it 100%. You can now truly walk right. What verse did we end up at?
I didn't think 7.
Yeah, because you were in 7. And he said, I'm going to be mercy. I'm going to keep mercy and forgiveness, forgiving your iniquities, your transgressions. There's 2 different types of sin. And your sin. And by no means, this, I should highlight this because I think that people have cut this out of the. And then not only will I not clear as guilty, but because of that guilt, that blood being shed, I will visit that person's son, his grandson, his great grandson. This for generations. This gives you an outline of why you need to be cautious and careful about who you affiliate yourself with. You know that the president of the United States, J. Trump's father, was a Klansman. Our son and your 4 generations. There's a whole lot of people out here whose parents were involved in Oklahoma bombing, and they're acting like it's done away with. That's in the history. We don't need to talk about that anymore. All right. Verse 8. Do 7 again so they can hear it again. Keeping
mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children, unto the 3rd and to the 4th generation. And Moshe made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worshipped. And he said, if now I have found grace in your sight, O Adonai, let my Adonai, I pray you, go among us. For it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for your inheritance. And he said, behold, I cut a covenant before all your people, will I do wonders, or I will do wonders, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among which you are, shall see the work of Yahweh. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with you. Guard that which I command you this day. Behold, I drive out before you the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Take heed to yourself, lest you cut a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither you go, lest it be for a snare in the
A
midst of
snare. You know what a snare is, right? Bear trap. Quicksand. You get into a mess and you can't get out. And the more you try to get out of it, you just are pulling down more sand, trying to pull yourself out. But that's okay, because the guy next to you, they in the same sand with you. You ever see anybody in quicksand? Or it's impossible to get out unless someone on solid ground comes and pulls you out. A snare. A snare is when everyone that's in this trap is going down. Everyone. And you feel like he can't be talking about us. There's 10,000 of us. He's done it before. He's pulled down. He's literally killed thousands of people in a snap of a finger. Because I think that's a good clue for you. It don't matter the size of your church. It don't matter the size of the amount of people that are around you if they're all in the same trap. It's stop, think. What verse are we in?
verse 13. For you shall worship no other El, for Yahweh Kana is my name. He is a jealous El, lest you cut a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their Elohim, and do sacrifices to their Elohim, and one call you, and you eat of his sacrifice, and take of their daughters into your sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their Elohim, and make your sons go a whoring after their Elohim. You shall make
on a tear. Like, don't go out there being no tramp. Don't be a whore selling your soul to some being or some nothing, because that's what he calls it. He said they're nothing, but yet our people love it. I took it last week to Jeremiah, where he said that these people will teach them a falsehood and they will love it. Fall in love with living in sin. He said, your daughters, your sons, I'm a jealous El. I am extremely jealous. And his jealousy is not done away with because you're walking in the New Testament. And Yah paints it like very descriptive. Don't be a hoe. Don't go whoring to other Elohims. And and then now prove yourself. Everybody around you is doing wrong. Are you going to do wrong? Are you going to back away? Are you going to go back to Jesus? Are you going to Jesus? You let them deal with that. According to the script, follow it. Verse 16. We went back a little bit. Verse 16. 18? Go back to 16.
And take of their daughters into your sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their Elohim, Elohai. The feast of Matzah shall you guard. 7 days you shall eat Matzah as I commanded you, in the time of the month of Abib. For in the month of Abib you came out from Mitzrayim. All that opens the womb is mine. and every firstling among your cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of an ass you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you redeem him not, then shall you break his neck. And 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest. In earing time and in harvest you shall rest. And you shall observe the feast of Katsir, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the feast of Asif at the year's end. Thrice in the year shall all your men, children, thrice in the year shall all your men, children appear before Adonai Yahweh Elohai of Yisra'el. For I will cast out the nations before you, and enlarge your borders. Neither shall any man desire your land, and you shall go up to appear before Yahweh Elohim thrice in the year.
So wait a minute. So 3 times. I'm new. I'm self-identifying myself as a girl. That way I don't have to go to the feast. See how weird it is? What's going on in this in society now? When he tells you, I want the boy child. I have a special assignment for them. And here's the assignment. I need to 3 times a year. I need you to come and bring an offering. Oh, so tomorrow is one of those times? Laying it out there. We should be obedient. Verse 25.
You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of Pesach be left unto the morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring into the house of Yahweh Elohim. You shall not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, write these words. After the tenor of these words, I have cut a covenant with you and with Yisra'el. And he was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the sapphires the words of the covenant, the 10 Devarim. And it came to pass when Moshe came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 sapphires of the testimony in Moshe's hand. When he came down from the mount, that Moshe knew not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moshe, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him. And Moshe called unto them. And Aaron and all the elders of the assembly returned unto him. And Moshe talked with them. And afterward all the children of Israel came nigh. And he gave them in commandment all that Yahweh had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moshe had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moshe went in before Yahweh to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spoke unto the children of Israel, which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the skin of Moshe's face shone. And Moshe put the veil upon his face again to speak with him.
So y'all blessed Moshe in such a fashion that his face lit up. You know, some people's face light up. They walk into the room and you look at them and you say, man, look at the countenance on that person. Some of us, even without seeing y'all face to face, when we enter, it says, my goodness, did you see that? And I'm talking men. Like certain men have this aura about them, and I can start naming some. When you see them, you're like, man, I feel like a weakling. So Denzel will walk in the room, and people still are impressed by his aura. When he just walks in the room, it's like he didn't act. He does walks through the movie screen and just his walking through the room, and they're like, great acting. He didn't do anything but walk. We got a guy, every time he steps on the court, The whole place, the whole atmosphere changes. He's a rookie. Little guy, was little 6'1" or so, Maxie. He steps on the court and the whole running thing. They're like, I know he's gonna show something. And he wasn't that big, it wasn't the statue. So when Moshe face lit, he got everybody's attention. And it's amazing. This is the second time that they express a physical change in Moshe's body. A physical change. You know what the other one was, right?
No. Physical change in the body?
Yeah, physical change. You don't know that? What in Moshe's body?
Oh.
This time his face showed. His face glue like a light bulb. See this black guy stand there and his face is shining? Yes, black guy. What's wrong with you? And his face was shining. How about when he walked into Pharaoh and he put his hand in his cloak and he pulled it out and his hand was white? They're like, whoa, where did that come from? Black again. Like, now that is amazing. There's 2 times that his physical body changed. And I'm going to leave you with this. If your spirit is in a cod with Yah, there should be some change in your physical appearance. Something in your body should change. When they see Yechezk'el, they see hair on his face anymore. They should see a sparkle in your eye. There should be something about you, your cadence and your walk should be changing in the physical that represents something that has changed in the spiritual. When you see a bunch of us and we haven't lost the weight, what are you eating? Where's your diet? Because our diet should be reflecting in our physical. And I was really nice because I was thinking about something else. Bring every thought into captivity. But you ought to change your everything in you. And then Yah will start showing you favor. Do you know that one thing that Moshe did that changed him? 40 days, no eating and drinking. Now, I'm not asking you to take 40 days off from eating and drinking. But if you can't fast, you got a problem. Huh?
A book that's not in 6 talks about fasting. That says they that don't fast, whose Elohim is their own belly, they are at no time rooted in perfect. Because there's some preachers and teachers. But
say this again. So I want you to hear this, because if I said it, you go elder saying something again. So repeat that.
And its effectiveness. But it states that in the last days, preachers and teachers would assume teachings that are not from Yah, talking about the laws that are away with.
Yes.
Whose Elohim whose Elohim is their own belly.
Whose Elohim is their own belly.
Their own appetites, their own desires. Mm-hmm. They say fasting has no validity.
Fasting has no validity, which is that it's done away with.
And they say, or that book actually says, they who do not fast are at no time. So
they that don't fast are at no time rooted in firm faith. You got a weak faith if you can't fast. And it's not of Yah. You can make statements over there if you want. Like it, share it. If you can't fast, I don't give a how good you can preach, how good you can teach. If you can't turn the plate down for a couple days and truly hear from Yah, instead of you teaching from here, your gut, you're teaching from here. People have books with their sermons already written in. And just in case, let me I can pull this one out. No, if you can't fast, your faith is weak. And I'm going here because I know what fasting can do. Yahushua said there's some things just can't be handled without fasting. You can't kick that demon out because you got a demon in you.
But it also says when you fast, you have to fast in holiness. And he who does not fast in holiness enters God and the angels. So it's basically saying if you fast, you don't have to be in covenant. You have to keep it.
You got to keep the covenant. So I'm going to give you an agreement. Follow my agreement, and then when you keep a vow, or when you keep a fast, then I will bless that. But if you walk out of covenant, a signed agreement. If you're in any kind of a relationship with someone and you call yourself a righteous man, the two of you should be able to sit down and write out a contract. As long as we're in Torah and we do ABC, and you're going to do XYZ, and you write it, you sign it, and you believe it. You are a hypocrite if you can't keep a contract. You're a hypocrite if your word is not bond. You're a hypocrite if you don't do what you say you're going to do. Oh, turn that off. I can't take that. Because all you want is somebody tickling your ears. I got a riddle for you. There once was look, you're paying attention. You got your attention. You were like, oh, he's going to give me a riddle. You want a riddle? Turn on Batman from 1968 and the Riddler will show up and then you can get a riddle from him. I'm not here to tickle your ears. And some things may sound hard. Read the next verse, Isaiah 50, where were we at? 58:1. Because you, in the midst of this, talking about righteousness, the chapter breaks or only breaks so that we can locate certain things. So let's continue that text, just another verse or two.
Cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice
like a trump shofar.
And show my people their transgression.
Show them their transgression. If you can't keep a fast, if you can't keep your word, it's a transgression. Transgression is what? Breaking the Torah. Sometimes I wish we were in a building so I could see your faces. So I can't see your face, so I'm just looking at myself. But hallelujah, keep your word. Keep the commandments. The word is synonymous with testimony. In Revelations, it says it's the testimony. Testimony. What is a testimony? Oh, I know that if I go to Elder's house, they're going to keep Sabbath. I know that if I go to Elder's house, they're going to be keeping the feast days. Why? Because I need a mic. Here's my mic. That's our testimony. We keep his law, statutes, and commandments. His commandments were written by himself. Even though Moshe broke it, Moshe had to write it over again, and then we keep his commandments. And by keeping his commandments and keeping his feast days, we are now showing forth Yah's righteousness. It's not man's righteousness, it's Yah's righteousness. We don't do this for fashion or show, nor for pay. That's the problem in that's happening today. A lot of us are moving because of money. A lot of us are moving because of money. Oh, if I say this is going to hurt their feelings. So what? That may be the thing that sparks them into righteousness. He said, cry loud and spare not. Shout like a shofar. Read previous to the verse. Take it, put it back in the contents and stop taking it out of context. Yeah, the whole verse 59 all starts talking about fasting, right? 58? Oh, yeah, 58. I'm sorry, 58, because we were at 57. So 58, see, I gotta go. But 58 goes right into fasting. It's like, show them where they're wrong. Cry loud, spare not, tell them where they're wrong. And tell them to fast. Even in the New Testament, it says, like, when you do fast, don't make what you're doing. Let them see your holiness by your walk. If you tell me that you're married and you're cussing your wife out, I ain't got much time for you. Because what we say in the closed doors of our house, that's what's going to help our house to be shalom. You walk in my house, I have a screen door. The door opens, half of it opens, and you can pull down the window, and you got a screen. So if you're walking past my house and my screen door is open and you can hear, you ought not be hearing me. Get up off the floor. Do this and the third. Be like, whoa, did you hear that? That's not peaceful. That's drama. If you can't get it right, if you keep trying and you keep screwing up, fast. Stay focused. Get focused. Because your gut's feeding you. Even if you're not eating pig.
When you fast, you go into the spirit, right? But the scripture says those who are in the flesh cannot please Yah. So if you can't get out of your flesh for a day or 2 days to focus on Yah, you're not really focused. You still got that flesh. But when you put to death the sinful nature of the flesh, you shall live, the scripture says. So
this is my young Moray right here. 17, he know better than you. At 17, and you can't get it right. You ought to learn how to. If you can't get this right, you're not going to see daylight when it comes time to going into the kingdom. I just heard this yesterday. If you're married and you don't learn how to love your spouse, you are excommunicated from the kingdom. You're not getting, or who you say you are. In the New Testament, it says, your prayers will not be heard. Wear your fringes. Keep Sabbath. But treat your wife like crap and see if you're getting in the kingdom. No, you're not. Young guys that we have on our fellowship, because these young guys are going to grow up to be godly men or yali men. Yah-centered yali men should be walking outside of our fellowship with a raw spirit. Everything should be functional. If you're walking raw, you're walking evil, you're walking dysfunctional. And if you do that, Yah is not pleased with you. That smell that he says he likes wearing is the smell that we should be rendering unto Yah. And Yah's not smelling no crap. And that's what your actions smell like. Hallelujah. I gotta go. I hope this was a good time for you. Yah is looking for godly men. Why do you think I gotta go? But why do you think he said, I want you guys to come to my kingdom, come and bring me an offering 3 times a year? Because in a short period of time, you get a little bit off course. I need you to keep coming back and keep getting it right. And he's focused on the men. On Father's Day, he's focused on the men. Since Father's Day is coming up. On Juneteenth, he's focused on the men. He wants you to get it right. Because if the house is going to be in order, it's because the man helps to set the plate. My house is being one of the greatest things I have to offer right now is my son. Because my son's in order. Yah expects us to walk right. Stop playing. This ain't home. We don't play that. This ain't play. This ain't Christianity. I'm mad because some of us think that playing is okay. It's okay. It's not okay. You're a fool. And the truth ain't in you. Learn to walk right. Must I shout it any louder? And that goes for all of us. We should be striving to live a Kadesh life, holy and righteousness. You saw the outline of Yah. He was gracious, long-suffering, merciful. The outline for us should be holy and righteous. If he slid you open and peeled you away, what kind of mess is inside? You know they do that with bodies now, right? They cut them open and they call what they do when someone dies and there's a murder. They do an autopsy, right? The autopsy is more than just like where did the knife go in? It's also what's in your blood. You know that, right? They were like they need to know, is the blood contaminated or is it righteous? Is it filled with, or is it righteous? That's why Yah shut the door when we talk about Moses. Noah. He shut the door, right? You know why? Because everybody out there had contaminated blood. Their blood was messed up. When Yah says, I will change you, I will change your DNA. So when they cut you open, they'll be like, oh, this blood is good. And you know what? Even the heathens know they want your blood. They want your blood. They're like, okay, well, you can donate your stuff so that we can get your blood from you. So I've got to go. Hopefully, like I'm starting to feel fired up now. I need a pulpit. But hopefully you will pay attention. I gotta go. But I had a friend that said, if I want to do my dirt, I'll do my dirt out in the street because I ain't gonna do my dirt in church. Well, there was something biblical about that. If you want to be raw with the raw people, not with the righteous. Be ye set apart, sanctified, and righteous, filled with the mighty Ruach. Hallelujah. Tomorrow, we'll be back at 3 o'clock if you can make it here. The doors are open. Share, like, and do whatever you can to push this out so that other people can hear this. Because you're not getting this kind of teaching everywhere else. I know it. I've been there looking. So Yah wants to bless you. He wants to cause you to prosper. He wants you to live he wants you to have fun. He wants you to have a good time. Tomorrow we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a cookout. Wonderful Shavuot cookout. Hallelujah. At 3 o'clock. And I'll be online tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you, Toda Rabbah, for joining the Ark Assembly. The Ark of the Covenant Assembly. I'll get it right. We appreciate you being here. And we don't, what did I do? We don't take it for Thank you. I see your comments over there. Hallelujah. Yah is a good Yah. Yes, he is. Yah is a good Yah. Yes, he is. Let's see. Stop sharing. Now. Woo! All right. I calmed down now. Where's my picture?
Oh.
I can hear you talking to me.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Elder, that was the second time you used the Batman build in the sermon.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
I liked it though. Good.
Good. Yeah, so I'm trying to get my picture up. I like Batman. Cannot start. Please select another. Fail to start. Setting. Go to setting. All right. Let me find out. Why can't I start?
Why don't you make me the host, go out and come back in? I'll do this quick as well.
All right. Let's see if we can do that then. Whew. When you
Yeah, party next year.
it's what's the name?
Mark, they're having
Oh, that's Juneteenth celebration.
Yeah. Okay, so now you are now the host.
live through it.
I forgot that. Is it really bad to celebrate that? It is. I don't think it's big, but at the same time, like, no one should probably free.
I think that
We can walk down there.
You want to?
Yeah, I was down there earlier. We're gonna go see.
I saw a quote that today the president Obama made, and he said that Juneteenth was never about freedom for the slaves. It was just about recognizing a step
Oh, I stepped toward it. Okay.
toward it.
Yeah. You know, it's called Juneteenth too. They said our people couldn't pronounce 19, so they just put that,
We're on
19th. Yeah, so that's what they say Juneteenth, because I guess they try to see our dog song. Nah. I never celebrated it, so I don't know all that.
Yeah.
For years, a friend of mine they would have, this is in Woodbury, they would have a Juneteenth celebration.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right, and we did their shirts every year. Yeah. So we came out, went out, and they would have their little cookout out there. It was pretty cool. And so that's, let's see.
You're still on.
Right. I'm trying to get my picture back up, guys. You can talk. We can hear you. Anybody want to say anything? Talk about life in general. Antoine, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you again. Even though I can't see you, all I see is Antoine 347379.
There we go.
There you go. I did see you earlier.
Yeah, it was earlier.
How you're doing good though?
Yeah, no complaints over here. No complaints.
Okay.
Not everybody wants to hear anyway.
Yes. Good to hear your voice, sir. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you. Good to hear yours as well.
I was in rare form today, huh?
Yeah.
What you got to say to me, sir?
I was blessed today, or this week,
Oh, good.
because I'm not on punishment. Free summer.
Yeah.
Tell your mom she need to stop putting you on punishment.
All right.
Put him on punishment. He got himself on punishment.
Oh, is that the deal? Email said that she didn't put you on punishment. You got yourself in punishment.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what I thought. Something like that.
It was a blessing. I'm free this summer.
Good.
But Jerry got a new job, right?
Yep, I found a job or an internship in my field, so that was pretty good.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Congrats.
What is your field, Atira? Architecture. Oh, cool. Yep. So, and it all happened in like a week because I used to be working in this place I didn't really want to work, and I just kind of prayed about it, and that night or the next night, I got an offer from a place that I really wanted to work, and so I work there now. Oh wow! Congratulations.
Hallelujah. That was nice. Yeah.
So I saw something in the chat. Was that chat for us?
Was it us laughing?
I saw. All I see is the vaccine.
Yeah, he was talking about blood and DNA and something about that.
Yeah, they're trying to really push that vaccine.
You must be mad though, because the people who aren't even vaccinated don't have to wear a mask, and they can't ask you if you're vaccinated. They're not.
Right.
People with the vaccine still got a mask and still got to get their 2 shots turned up or something. It's like.
I had. I bought myself. Antoine, you like this? I bought myself 2 lawnmowers this weekend, and I was at Lowe's, and the lawnmowers were marked down to $99 a piece. Actually, one was $75 or $80. So for less than $200, I got 2 lawnmowers. when they first ran the skew, they came up to over $700. So I'm like, oh, I got myself a good deal. But there's a catch. The lawnmowers needed to be serviced. Something wasn't quite right. So the one lawnmower, the guy just cleaned it out, and he said there was water in the tank. So he cleaned it out, and I don't know what else, cleaned the filter out or whatever, and then filled it up. Cost me $45. Still a great deal. But I went to his house, and see, I don't like doing this talking because I start talking about something and I've lost the whole why I started. What were we talking about?
You said something about a lawnmower. You said
No, prior to the lawnmower.
The vaccine?
the vaccine.
Oh, thank you. So, so the two people, the husband and the wife, at the place that's fixing the lawnmower, I see them almost every day because they have a dog that walks to the path, and they walk together, and their dog and my dog play together. So I took the lawnmower to them, and when I saw them in the port of the path, they said that, people always got to share their truth, whether their truth is good or not. They think they need to share it. So they're like, we're not taking the how do you feel about the vaccine? And so I said, I'm not taking it. These are white Republicans. And they're like, we don't believe in it either. So when I went to take my lawnmower to him, the guy's like, I'm not feeling good today because I just got the vaccine yesterday. And now me and my wife are not feeling good. So I said, oh, so you were both perfectly healthy, right? Until you took the vaccine. And he says, yes, but my grandson got to go to school, and the only way my grandson can go to school is that we let them get the shot. So that was that for him.
I wonder if to go to college now you have to have a vaccine, because I was able to go to school and stuff without a mask at like near the end. So I'm wondering, because if I like to go to college, I'm not gonna go if I gotta get the vaccine. But if not, see.
I think isn't enough. Maybe if you live on campus, you have.
Yeah. See, I would like to live on campus. That's
Yeah.
Well, Tara says that she had that problem with her school.
Hey, Terry, did you hear anything about you need the vaccine to go back to school? Or
Yeah, they said in order to go back to campus, you had to get it.
Oh, okay. Hopefully that's not like with every college.
I think it is because they're pushing it.
Huh.
Nice, can you bring my charger?
So we'll see each other tomorrow. Trey and I are getting ready to take a walk down to celebrating Juneteenth Day.
Look, I don't know about celebrating.
Well, we're going to go look. Maybe we'll bring the shafars down and blow the shafar and get everybody's attention. Put a Bible out and go out there and start teaching.
That won't last long.
Man gets locked up. What happened? He was calling himself teaching the Bible. I don't know what kind of Bible he got. So we'll see each other tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Take care, y'all.
Take care.
Antoine, if you come in, it's 3:00 tomorrow.
Okay.
Can we come earlier?
Yes, of course.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Love you.
Love you. Shalom.
Love you. Bye-bye.
It wouldn't let my face.